Libra Quintus, Saturn in Gemini, and Saturn in Cancer. Those who have Saturn in Gemini will encounter serious crimes every 7 or 9 years up to their 23rd year. They will be especially susceptible to illness in these years. If Mars is in square aspect, there will also be danger in these years of riots, confrontations, and great toil. There will be no great inheritance either from mother or father. The native will gain everything through his own efforts and will be particularly oppressed with weight of toil while Saturn is crossing Cancer, Libra, and Aries. He will be successful when Saturn finishes in his first orbit and is in Leo and Capricorn. Saturn in Gemini indicates afflictions and important reverses, enemies, lawsuits, and quarrels of some kind. The native will meet losses of income and frequent conflicts until he reaches the last crisis of his life. After that, he will be in charge of important affairs by order of someone in power and be a friend of famous and powerful men. He will at last become famous and noble, travel a great deal, and move from one region to another. He will not be given a virgin for a wife. If by chance the influence of Jupiter gives him a virgin for a wife, he will be separated from her either by divorce or by death. He will either be without children or will have one son. But when Saturn arrives in the sign of Scorpio, the native will be lucky, famous, and rich. He will be allotted a window for his wife and will live with her without disagreement until his last day. Many affairs will be entrusted to him, and he will spend much and will have many encounters with powerful men. From these encounters he will be in danger unless Jupiter helps him. For those who have Saturn in this position are always oppressed to great and powerful men and always depend on the protection of lesser men and often are thrown into custody. They will grow long hair and mourning because of some trouble in their friendship of some kind and loss of death. But after they have been shaken by various crises, they will find increase in good fortune and achieve both praise and possessions and unexpected inheritance, and they will acquire riches and control very large estates. Those who have Saturn in Cancer are involved in sedations, lawsuits, and reverses. They lose their paternal and maternal inheritance, but through their own efforts acquire great possessions. Their life is such that they always gain and lose. They will face dangers or illness every 7th or 9th year until they're 23. Up until that age, they will be worn out by enormous perils. But in the time of danger, a benefic planet or ruler at the time, or well located in a favorable aspect to Saturn, or ruler of the chart, the threat of danger is lessened. But even in the case, there will still be deaths of parents, brothers, or losses of lawsuits, and native to him will be freed from all physical danger. When Saturn is in his own house, he instigates losses, storms, dangers, illness, constant lawsuits. In opposition to his own houses, he predicts the same thing. When Saturn is in Gemini, he will disturb the native with continuation of evils until he crosses Cancer. When he comes to the tropical degrees of Cancer, he indicates the loss of inheritance and sets the native in such poverty that he must be maintained by a stranger's kindness. Also, riots and revolutions and crises are indicated, but when Saturn has crossed the tropic degrees of Cancer and foresaid evils, he will be lulled to sleep and the native will be freed from all anxieties and dangers. The first marriage will not last, nor will it be a successful outcome to the first marriage contract. For in early youth, the native will marry a woman of low class or degenerate in some way, but afterward will sensibly separate from her. But if Saturn is in the sign, either has a moon with him or aspected to her, he will deny children, or the children will be deformed in some blemish or color. The dark-colored with abundance of black bile or suffer other bilious difficulties. They will be despaired of other illnesses and recover only with difficulty. The natives who have Saturn in Cancer will be straightforward, kind, merciful, helpful to strangers in trouble, gaining a livelihood from managing foreign investments. They will have fathers of foreign children and have hidden afflictions. They will be endowed with such high office that they will seem to be masters of their brothers. They will be wealthy and will seem to be always lead their lives in prosperity, known to powerful men, never in servile occupations, of good and respectable character, but sluggish in all occupations and unwilling to be involved in public affairs. Those who have Saturn in Leo will be objective to this continual ill will. They will be strong in their early years and sometimes destined to be famous. My next reading will be Saturn in Leo and Libra Quintus. Please like, share, and subscribe.